Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my creative time with Emma, and also welcome to another Trending Now Thursday. For today, we're doing a version of, so basically what's trending now are all of these adult coloring books that are out right now. So we figured Miss Liz put on our schedule to go ahead and do something with the trending now with the coloring version. So basically what we are doing today is just grabbing some of my stamps and just stamping it and just coloring them in like we're doing a little coloring book, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I am using this set here called Tweet Me. I love this set because I think the birdies with their little heart tails are the best, okay? So I'm using this, and I use some watercolor paper. I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest with you, because I kind of have my watercolor. When I get them, I just take them out of the package and I put them in my drawer, which, you know, I probably shouldn't do that just in case someone asks. But it's either going to be Strathmore, or I do have the Arches paper, but I don't think I've used that one just yet. But this is most likely Strathmore. So I went ahead and I already stamped it onto my piece of watercolor paper, and underneath here I did cut out using the what do you call this, my postage frame die. Sending many thanks is also from that set, okay? So I'm not sure if you could see this or not, but let me show you the watercolors I'm using today. Someone asked me what am I using lately, and I actually got these right here. These are the Winsor, what is it called? Winsor and Newton Cotman watercolors. And there's like a dozen in here, and it's perfect. You could also, I also picked up just a couple of the little tubes here, with just some different colors. I've had them for a little bit. I just haven't had a chance to really play with them, but this is what I've been using. This is the watercolor that you've been seeing on all of my backgrounds. And somebody noticed that they were a little bit more vibrant, and they are. And a little tube, I could tell you right now, it's probably going to last me for the rest of my life, because it's not like if I'm a professional watercolor or if I do this all the time, but you'll get lots of use out of those, okay? So anyways, I'll have a link to where I had picked them up from. So anyway, so I stamped the cutie patootie little birds. I figured that sentiment would go perfect. I wanted to make a card with these birds on top of each other for a really long time, but I wasn't sure. I just never got around to it, so I'm so happy I did it today. So what we're going to do is I wanted to, just trying to clean off my brush here. I wanted to do one bird red, one blue, and one yellow. So I'm probably going to start off with the lightest color first, which will be the yellow one. So I'm just trying to, I hope this is clean water here. You know what? Let me go grab some clean water really quick. Okie dokie, I went ahead and got some clean water. I didn't want to, since I'm starting off at the yellow, I have the dirty water off to my right. I didn't want to, you know, put a different color on the little birdie by accident. So I'm just adding some water to him right now. And then I'm just going to use some yellow. I don't know, let's see. Well, it's in that 12 pack, and there's only 2 yellows in there. So you'll be able to see the colors that I'm using. So I'm just going to put some color down. And I did mix. There's 2 yellows in this set, and I went ahead and I mixed those up a tad. And I love this watercolor because it goes on so clean and perfect, okay? And that's basically, I think I might just leave it alone. Let's add just a little bit more dark right here. Alright, so that's it. It's right there. Because when it dries, it will dry, you know, obviously lighter. But I'm going to try my hardest not to put the heat tool on it. I think I'm just going to let him dry, you know, by himself, so I don't have to worry about it. at all. I'm just going to let it air dry. Okay. Okay, so that is the first little cutie patootie little birdie. And then I think we'll do the second one red. Let's do the second one red here. And I'm just adding some water onto the actual birdie, just like so. Super simple, nothing fancy schmancy. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get this on here. I'm just, if you see me going off to the left here, it's because I'm just kind of dabbing off a little bit of the water. My always fear all the time is that it's going to run off, you know, like it's not going to color in the lines, I should say. That's always my fear, so I'm always like dabbing off my brush so it won't. And if it does, it's okay, it's no big a deal. It won't be the end of the world, right? Okay, so I'm just going ahead and just adding this here, and I'm trying not to get the red in that little dot of the eye. Okay, I love the little heart tails so much. That's my favorite. Okay, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more darker. There, alright. See, it already went out of the lines a tad, but you know, it's okay because we could always just use a white gel pen to fix that. That's no big deal. Okay, so we're going to leave her just like that, okay? So next we're going to go ahead and use the blue. We're going to color, there's two different blues. Actually, there's like a navy, a really dark one, a light blue, light blue color. I went ahead and I'm going to kind of mix the light blue and the dark blue together for our little, oh, did I put water on him first? I sure did not. You know what? It's okay. You'll see how it looks when you add water versus when you don't add water to it. And it's not really that much of a difference, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to stay in the lines. That was I remember when I was younger, I loved coloring books. And my whole thing is I had to stay in the lines. I had to. Okay, so now that is just really extremely bothering me, because if you really look at that, I really went out of the lines on that red one, but nothing we can't fix, right? Okay, so I'm just going to come in with a little bit of the darker on the tail. Take some off. I went ahead and I just kind of mixed the other blue in there as well. Super cute. Okay. I'll just go ahead and just add some more here to the little bottom portion of, we'll make this the boy. There we go. And I think that's it for him. I think I'm going to leave him alone. I think I'm saying that as I keep on messing with him. Okay, I really am going to leave him alone this time. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get some orange. I'm not sure if I have a thinner than that. A thinner brush, because the I don't know what brush this is now. I want to get a really, let's try this one here. Let's hope this one works. Let's see. I feel like it's not. So you know what, I'm afraid. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and grab a marker, which I'm going to use this orange. Well, actually it's called Scarlet Red. Let me see if there's another orange one. Well, this one says orange, but let me see how orange it really is. Okay, yeah, we're going to use this one. This one is orange, and this is just the real brush, the clean color real brush marker. And we're going to go ahead and just, I'm going to color in the little beaks with this. I didn't want to take any chance. I probably could have, but of course, since I'm on camera right now, I'll probably just mess the whole thing up. So I'm just coloring in their cutie patootie little beaks. Oopsie. And oh man, I should have dried it because look at now it ran onto that thing. But it's okay, I'm just going to leave it alone. It's okay. So as soon as this dries, I'm probably going to go over that just a little bit on the blue, add some more blue right there. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what I could do? I could just take it off like this. Hopefully that works. Yeah, okay. And then let me go ahead and just go back in and if I could find the paintbrush I was just using. Can you tell I haven't done a video in a little bit? I can't even find the paintbrush I was just using. We're just going to go ahead and use this one here. It doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just add some more blue back onto his little face here. And let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I didn't cover it up completely, but that's okay. It's no biggie. This is why I don't really do too much coloring on camera, because I'm not really that experienced. Not experienced, I should say that, you know, I'm not a professional. I'm not as good as some people out there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll probably put some, you know what, maybe I'll do that now. We'll put some like dirt at the bottom there. Let me go ahead and clean my brush off, and let me find, I'm pretty sure, I think there's a, yeah, there's a brown color in this set here. So what we'll do, we'll just make like a little ground for them. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. Take some off. There we go. There we go. Super simple. And then that's it. I think I'm just going to leave it alone and call it a day, and then attach it to an actual card base, okay? So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for visiting my blog this week and for your awesome comments, and also for commenting on my crazy life right now. I'll get it together. It's just that we haven't had baseball. You know, my son did wrestling, and then now we're switching over to baseball, which, you know, they have, both boys have 3 games a week, and it's kind of crazy right now. So I think I'm gonna have to switch my own little home schedule around to make sure I make it work, because I don't like doing projects without a video. I feel like I want to do a video. That's my therapy. So I'm gonna definitely I have to find another way to get this done. So that's it, everybody. Oh, and also I wanted to let you all know that I made a big a boo-boo last month. I did not realize that Easter was this month, okay? So of course I have this set that I should have released last month in February. Being that I didn't, I'm going to release it this month, but you know how I always have my releases the 3rd week of each month? Well, this one time only, I'm not going to make a habit of doing this, and the only reason why I'm doing this because I do have a spring set that will go perfect for Easter, and I figured, you know what, I better just go ahead and release this 1 week early. So what I'm going to do, instead of having my release for the month of March on the 3rd week, I'm going to have it the 2nd week, which is next week. Okay, everyone? Because there's this particular set that I want to make sure everyone, if you order it, I want to make sure you get it prior to Easter, which is at the end, is I believe it's the last Sunday of this month, which kind of totally threw me off guard, which I was like, oh my god, I should have paid more attention to it, because usually it's in April. So With that said, my release for the 53rd edition will be next week instead of the week after. And then in starting in May, which is my birthday month, we're going to go back. I'm sorry, not May, April. Sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. Starting back in April, we're going to go back to our regular schedule the third week of each month, okay? But for now, for this one time only, we're going to do it the second week, which is be next week, because there is the cutie patootie little, this cute little set that would be so perfect for Easter and spring coming up, rapidly approaching, I must say. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So that's what's going to be going on next week. And that's it, everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. If I don't see you back here tomorrow, I will see you Monday morning first thing for some amazing and adorable sneaky peeks. Okay, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.